If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well. Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again, and welcome to episode number 200 of the Career Mode Road to Glory. This is my first ever series to reach 200 episodes, and I can't thank you enough for the support you've shown it right from the very beginning. It wasn't the most popular series when we first started, but as we've grown through the leagues and been able to get some bigger names into the team, and as the channel has grown as well, the support on this series has also grown with it. So thank you very much for all of the support with this series. The My Player is only 7 or so episodes away from 200 as well, and obviously we'll be looking to repeat that feat next year on FIFA 16 with a new player in a new position at new clubs. But today we start with familiar opposition because we played them in the last game of the last episode. It's Manchester City. We beat them 5-2 in the league at the Etihad here, but now we're playing them in the Capital One Cup. A complete rotation side playing in this one. A lot of my quote-unquote lesser players, although to be fair, the squad as a whole is very, very strong. Strahil Georgiev played in here by Saido Berahino. On his left foot, it's a very good save down low by Asmir Begovic and eventually cleared by the defender. But we were going to continue to be on top in the opening few stages, as you can see, but then they almost catch me on the counter there. If he'd have picked that off, he could have been clean through. But we get it into Pione Sisto, across to James Ward-Prowse. Nice first touch. Good shot, but it flashes just past the near post. And we stay at 0-0 for now, 15 minutes in. 10 minutes later, another Cambridge United attack. Strahil Georgiev into James Ward-Prowse, turning and twisting away from their back line. Georgiev wants to get this on his left foot, but he can't quite find the space. Gets into James Ward-Prowse, though, and he finds the bottom corner with a very, very good finish. Burying it across into the bottom left-hand side of the net. It nestled very nicely in that bottom corner. We have ourselves a 1-0 lead. Now, only one goal so far against Man City. We scored 5 in the last one. Can we at least get a second here and keep a clean sheet and keep ourselves in the Capital One Cup? Begovic is keeping them in it. Another good save after a decent turn by Saido Berahino there. Julian von Hark, though, formerly of Cambridge United, of course, gets it across here to Sami Nasri, who stands it up to Lopez, but a good save by Areola stops City from coming back on level terms just as we headed into stoppage time at the end of the first half. So, as we headed into the beginning of the second half, again, Cambridge United attack. Saido Berahino cuts inside here from Kolarov. Really good shot with his left foot again. Begovic with another good save, and I couldn't quite follow up with Strahil Georgiev at the back post, unfortunately. But on the hour mark, we're still looking for a second goal to kill this game off. Timo Werner down the left-hand side gets his cross block, but it drops beautifully for Willems. Even better cross, but an even better save by Asmir Begovic. Unbelievable scenes as we cannot get a second goal here. It's ridiculous. Here comes Micah Richards pushing forward from their backline across to Alexander Kolarov. Going to squeeze it eventually through that gap to Miguel Lopez, who just powers it straight past the goalkeeper into the back of the net. I don't really know what Areola was doing there. Didn't really make any sort of attempt to make the save, which kind of wicked me off, to be honest. We pushed so hard for a second goal and in the end got pegged back. Could we, though, win it in the final few moments? Adarabioyo hitting the bar from distance with less than 10 minutes to go. Another highlight now in stoppage time at the end of the second half. Into Berahino, out wide to Georgiev, out wide further to Timo Werner on the wing. In comes the cross eventually as he's going to stand it up towards the middle with Ivaz on his left foot, but it gets deflected and goes wide. So into extra time we go. On to the 100th minute we go when Stefan Jovetic is in the box, out wide to Micah Richards. Cross is going to come in, cleared away initially by James Ward-Prowse, but only as far as Fernando. Gets into Nicholas Sporler, another City player formerly of Cambridge United, into Edin Dzeko. Turns inside and, again, really disappointing goalkeeping from Areola as he just almost gets out of the way of that one, fearful of how well it was struck, how powerful the shot was. And that 102nd minute goal was enough to win Man City the tie as a whole and knock us out of the Capital One Cup. Couldn't believe it. 5-2 we win last time. We have enough chances this time around to win 5-2 again. But Asmir Begovic just was not going to concede more than one goal. He was determined. Much as I was determined to score a second goal, he was even more determined not to let me. So we come into the next game in the league with a little bit of a sour taste in the mouth, hoping to kind of take out my frustration on Tottenham here. As you can see, Paulsen and Georgiev
is the front pairing again. Georgiev plays almost every single game right now. His stamina is very high, and he's one of the few players that can seemingly play the majority of fixtures. They're starting Yannick Sagbo up top, though. They've got Mario Gomez on the bench. Christian Eriksen on the bench as well, but Lewis Holtby starts at cam with Alex Pritchard on the left and Andros Townsend on the right. They've also got Christian Benteke on the bench as well. So they've got plenty of strikers, but only playing with one up top here. And it's actually Yannick Sagbo on the ball that's going to help build up the first chance here. Alex Pritchard turns inside, goes for the shot, but it goes just wide off that near post after just 3 minutes. That was a sign of things to come from Tottenham. They were definitely going to be adventurous, especially through Alex Pritchard. But less than 5 minutes after they'd had that chance, Tony Kroos gets a turn inside here, dances past one defender, going to try and get the cross in, does so to the back post. Up goes Paulsen. 1-0 Cambridge United. Another early goal for us, and hopefully this time we won't be pegged back just before the end of the game. Townsend, though, playing it through to Paulinho here. You can see that they're throwing men forward on this left-hand side. They just need to get it back over to this left-hand side. Forrester into Lewis Holtby, trying to break through. Here's Yannick Sagbo, again turning across to the left-hand side where Alex Pritchard, unfortunately again, can't find his range. Whips another one past the far post. Was that going to cost Tottenham in the long run? Into the second half we go. DeAndre Yedlin into Andros Townsend. Obviously got some pace, but decides to give it to Paulinho instead. Benteke helps it on his way to Holtby into Paulinho. What a move that would have been had it ended up in the back of the net. Would have been a glorious move had it ended up in the back of the net, actually. But Ricardo Kiesner comes down the left-hand side here. You can see we've kind of pulled their defence apart, but the run from the striker through the middle, Paulsen, brings Paulinho back into the open space. So there was no open space until Paulsen found himself in behind again, but unfortunately not able to put it away. The goalkeeper makes a very good save to ensure that we stay just 1-0 up for now. Kiesner, though, in behind with 5 minutes to go. Lovely Ronaldo chop inside, squares it across to Paulsen, and a brilliant last-minute block by Danny Rose, again continuing to stop us from scoring a second goal. That cost us against City. Was it going to cost us again against Tottenham? They're having one final chance before the game is over. Lewis Holtby over the top. Chadley's in behind. I don't know whether he headed that against the keeper or whether the keeper just tried to head it clear. I've no idea. So many times in just this year, I guess, on FIFA, we've had keepers come out like that and the player just knock it over them. This time, though, we get a lucky break and we're able to get there just ahead of the striker, or the winger, I guess, technically, with Nasser Chadley, and stop him from being able to dink it over him into the back of the net. So, Champions League time. Away from home against Marseille. We've already picked up 10 points from the opening 5 games of this group stage. We got a draw against Leverkusen and a defeat against Leverkusen. And other than that, we've won every single game. We beat Marseille once, we've beaten Juventus twice. Can we do the same to the French side here? Zuba starting up top with Andre Ayew in behind him. Lestienne, the Belgian, out on the left. And Thauvin out on the right, obviously the Newcastle United new signing in real life, but hoping to do things for his former side here against us. Areola starts in goal again. I thought I'd give him another go in the Cup to see if he could kind of make up for the mistakes made in the City game. Considering our future in the Champions League is already assured, we are definitely going through to the next round. And obviously, if we can win this game as well, then we'll definitely be going through as group winners. I think actually we're already through as group winners. Group winners. I can't quite remember what the state of the group was. I know we're on 10. I can't quite remember whether the side below us were on 6 or 7. If they're on 6, obviously we're already through because there's only one game left. But Zuba's in behind here, shows great strength to hold off the defender, squeezes it to Ayew, who's going to play it over the top towards Imbula. Good chance for him here if he can turn inside. Does so, good strength, but Areola plucks it out the air. No goal for Marseille. So, 22 minutes on the clock. Marseille come forward again. Zuba involved again, out to Thauvin on the left this time, swapped wings with Lestienne, into Ayew, good save by Areola this time, palming it onto the post to ensure that they don't take the lead here, Marseille. But as you can see, they were on top in these opening 25-30 minutes or so until we steal it off from there with Aderabioyo, slotting through Kwesi Appiah. You already know what's going to happen here. I can't not. They've been dominating. I need to get myself in front. Thank you very much. 1-0 thanks to Saido Berahino. But lovely run by Kwesi to set the goal up in the first place. Delighted to be in front after the way that Marseille have completely destroyed me in this opening first half. So we'll try and get a second here, which we weren't able to do against City, which we weren't able to do against Tottenham. But can we do it against Marseille? Ivaz in behind, turns it onto his left foot. Yes, we can do it against Marseille. 44 minutes on the clock. It's Cambridge United 2, Marseille 0. We are, as the previous episode was titled, strolling to success in Europe. After our Europa League win last season, we are having a very comfortable group stage. A group stage that we weren't expecting to be comfortable with teams like Juventus and Bayer Leverkusen in the mix. And in fairness, Leverkusen weren't comfortable. They beat us once and we struggled to a 2-2 draw away from home against them. But Marseille and Juventus have just rolled over against us. Real surprise for me in this Champions League group that they weren't more competitive, but we'll take it. If we can do a Porto, win the Europa League, and then follow that up with a Champions League win for the final season here on this FIFA 15 Road to Glory, that would be very nice indeed. Kwesi Appiah in behind again, trying to get us a fourth if we can, just to put a little bit of gloss on the tie, but he hits the inside of the post and isn't quite able to do so. Then they come up the other end. Rather than trying to get some gloss on the tie at one end, we actually going to end up conceding. You see Nicholas Nkulu was that played this ball into Talvan, so they've gone all out attack, throwing centre-backs forward and all sorts. Imbula plays or tries to play a ball forward. In fact, it falls very nicely to Nicholas Nkulu in the end. Andre Ayew draws a good save out of Areola. Unfortunately, the result in this game wasn't too important, and I would have preferred the solid performance from Areola in the Capital One Cup. But sadly, we're out of that competition, but we're very much in the Champions League and through to the knockout stage as we go with a top of the table win or top of the table position and a win in the final game. So 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat from our group stage, and we are 1 point off the Barclays Premier League top spot after 15 games. So 4 more and then we'll be halfway through this season. We've still got 2.5 weeks or so, or 3 weeks-ish, till FIFA 16, so we should be able to get through this season and finish it before that comes. Hopefully we can do, and similar with the My Player. But for now, thank you very much for watching, guys. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, check the channel page for anything you may have missed over the past few days, and I'll see you next time.